Let's talk about the real reason why this ban list was so insane. They didn't touch me! What's going on, you guys? Slim here with the first of many new format deck profiles here on the channel, and you already know that your boy got you with Alistair and Friends, the Dogmatika Invoked deck, which I personally believe, because of these hits on the ban list, is going to rise to be one of the best decks of the format. Now, granted, we don't know if it'll be the best deck of the format. Most people will probably say no, but whatever, man. Anything with Alistair is always going to be an amazing deck to me, and I honestly believe this will be one of the best decks of the format going forward. As always, if you guys are new here, consider subscribing, hit that notification bell. You guys will be notified whenever I upload. You'll also be notified when I stream over on Twitch. Links in the description. As always, if you yourself want to build this deck, and I highly suggest you do, hopefully you bought your Dogmatika cards prior to the list, because I got a feeling they're going to go up. But if not, get them while they're pretty cheap right now. Use my TCG player link in the description below. A portion of what you spend goes back to the channel. It helps me out, and I really do appreciate it. And last but not least, if you want to further support me in the channel, consider joining my Patreon. You guys know the deal. 4 different tiers, nothing over $10. A bunch of awesome exclusive rewards and stuff that you're not going to see over here on the channel. Anyways, all that crap out of the way. Yo, they didn't touch Alistair. You know what that means. Your boys got you with the profile. This is going to be a very standard list for the new format. I'll explain some things. There was one kind of big change in the deck, and I'll explain as to why I decided to add this card. Unfortunately, I know you guys want budget options. Unfortunately, if you did not get the Dogmatika cards, I don't really have a budget option for this particular deck. However, going forward, I will include more budget options in these profiles. But anyways, let's get into it. 3 copies of me, baby. 3 copies of Alistair the Invoker. I'm so happy they didn't touch this card. I was hoping... I felt like they weren't going to, but then I thought, man, you know, it's been around for so long. What if they actually touched the engine? But they didn't. So, yo, another format of playing Alistair. You already know your boy is all about it, along with Meltdown and the Invocations and the Terraforming, because we just need to max out on Alistair. What else can I say? That is the same Invoke package. How many times did I show this in the last format, and we're starting off the new format with it again? I mean, that's just typical Slim fashion. That's just how things go. You guys already know. One of my favorite engines. You know what? Screw it. My favorite engine in the game. The end. Onto the Dogmatika cards. This hasn't changed. It's literally the same. I feel this really is the best ratio. 3 Ecclesia, 2 Fleur-de-Lis, and the 1 Maximus. So I'm still playing the Maximus. I'll talk about the extra deck when I get there. I'm not playing the Nova, but I will talk about that. You can play that if you want. So right now, format is new. We don't know if people are going to even have the extra deck targets or the space to play like the Nova and to play the Elder Entity and stuff like that. Maximus is just too powerful a card to not play. It gets you to wind it instantly. Wind is like literally a win condition, like no joke. It has the word win in its name. I mean, come on. Card is insane. Just sets up everything. Card is just ridiculous what you can do, and this whole Dogmatika engine is just fantastic in this deck. I wouldn't change anything about the monsters. And then, of course, the best card in the deck, the card that unfortunately is probably the most expensive part of this deck, the 3 Nadir Servant. Like I said, I can't really give you guys a budget option, but this card really is just insane for everything it does for the deck. And then, of course, the 2 copies of Punishment and the 1 Schism. I always put Schism with the Dogmatika cards because honestly, it feels to me like it's more a Dogmatika card than a Shadal card, but you know, this engine has not changed. This engine is literally the same. I absolutely love it. It's fantastic. This is just the ratio that's always worked for me. I thought about playing a 3rd Punishment, potentially maybe something we test out in the future. When Zach Stone did it, I really liked it. It's something we may, like I said, try out in the future. But for now, 2 is good. 2, and then of course the 1 Schism. So that is it for the Dogmatika portion. It's exactly the same, like pretty much every list. I mean, it's not going to change, and I think that's what I love about this deck. This deck is a very simple 1-2 punch deck. You don't have to overcomplicate it, and that's why I love it to death. Now the hand traps. Honestly, the hand trap stayed the same. I think this got better. Now, this is a hot take for those of you watching this. I think Gamma and Driver got better. Link Ross is out of the format, Smoke Grenade's out of the format, but you still got Dinos, you still got Virtual World, you still got all these annoying ass decks. This card can just stop anything, and it's amazing. It's literally amazing, and I love it. It's a light from Akaba. I just think it's one of the best hand traps still in the game, so I feel you have to play it. Along with the most generic hand trap, the Ashes. You guys already know. Gotta hit Dinos, gotta hit Dragon Link. Dragon Link is still a deck. Don't think it's not. It definitely still is. Infinite Noble, still a deck. Virtual World, still a deck. They're all decks. Ash is the most generic. And then I got the Imperms. The only hand trap I'm not putting in the main deck is the copies of Nibiru. That's something that's in the side deck. I have the side deck over on Patreon for those of you that are wondering. But yeah, I just wanted to keep it super simple. We're just starting a new format. Why am I going to overcomplicate it? Nibiru is good. I just felt like these hand traps are just better. I'm going to get more mileage with them. It gives me the option to go first and go second quite effectively with the deck. So hand traps haven't changed at all. That's it for the hand trap portion. And just the power spells. Pretty much the power spells, main draw cards of the deck, are the desires and the talents. Like I said, it's very hard for me to give you guys a budget option, but if you are playing this deck and you don't have talents, just play desires. Then you can play like Upstart and like you put some other cards in, like put a Call by the Grave. You can just put some other cards in, maybe play a Trap Trick or something. Like you can play other cards if you don't have access to triple talents. But I've told you guys a million times, should have got this card. Card is insane. Until we get confirmation on Crossout Designator, I mean, you got to play it. So this card is great. No reason not to. Desires, fantastic. Not playing Dragoon. I'm gonna be honest, you guys. Thank you to all of you that really kind of put me in my place and said playing Dragoon in this deck was wrong. While I don't think it's wrong, I do agree after so much testing, copious testing with this deck, you are correct. Playing the Dragoon engine is amazing in this deck when it works, but it does take away the fundamental function of the Dogmatika cards, and I can see why you guys were not a fan of it. While I think Dragoon is going to be a terror this format, I don't think it belongs in this deck, whereas in my new Mech Knight profile that'll be coming soon, yeah, it belongs in Mech Knight Invoke. It doesn't belong in this deck. So for that reason, we chose to cut it, just play more effective spells, and you know, it just gets us there. So that's it for the power spells. Now, the change to the deck, the big change to the deck, something that I'm trying out because it's a new format. The last 3 cards of the deck are 3 copies of Ice Dragon's Prison. So this card to me is going to be amazing this format. It was already amazing last format, but look at the decks of our format. Dinosaur is going to be running rampant. Dragon Link is going to find a new way to play. This deck is going to find a new way to play. Dragoon is going to be everywhere. What does this card do? It outs Dragoon. It outs damn near anything. You can play it going first or going second. Obviously, going first, this card is just phenomenal. You know, your opponent starts to play. You Ice Dragon's Prison them. You get rid of the problem. Get back a monster from their grave. Get rid of a problem on the board. Doesn't target. This card's insane. I can't tell you how many games you can win with this, especially against Dragoon. With the 3 copies of Prison and the 3 copies of Talents, that gives you 6 outs to Dragoon in your deck. And like I said, I think Dragoon really is going to see a lot more play because players are going to focus more of their attention on it because it wasn't touched on the list, and the decks that lost some power are going to pretty much revamp their decks with that card. So I highly suggest you guys pick this card up. This card is phenomenal in this deck, and like I said, it's good going first or going second, so really consider trying it out. I think it's a very strong card. It's something I didn't have in my list before, and I'm really glad that with some good advice from better players than myself, they told me to play this card. I've been testing it. This card is amazing, absolutely amazing. So highly suggest you get it, and that rounds out the main deck. So that's it for the main deck. I think it's 41 cards. You can play 40 with just the 2 copies of Prison, but I wanted to play 3. You can also play Trap Trick. You have multiple traps. You have the prisons. You have the punishments. You have the imperms. So those are other options, also budget options if you guys don't have access to talents. Now onto the extra deck. Honestly, this extra deck hasn't changed. I mean, what's there to change? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The Invoke cards are exactly the same. The Tumakaba, the Purgatrio, and the Agodius, they're all amazing. What can I say? They're just amazing, so that's it. They're amazing. That's all I got to say about that. Next, I got the Dogmatika food. Always the Dogmatika food. The 2 copies of Entis, the 1 Titaniclad, the Ash Dragon, and the 1 copy of Omega. Yeah, nothing's changed. I don't play any other cards. I think these are the best ones. These are most effective. You can try out the Skull Knight card if you want. You can try out the what is that? The Adagnister card if you want. These cards, they're just better. They're just better. Like if you have the room to play them all, go ahead. I just chose to play these. None of these cards ever not come up. They're like, plus if you can go Gamma something and you can rip a card with Omega, I think you just win right there. So these cards are fantastic. You don't need more than 1 Titaniclad as well, so very simple when it comes to that. Then the Shaddoll cards are exactly the same. Of course, the Apocalone to send the Schism and get it back, to Construct to get it back. You can sometimes make this card as well in weird situations. And honestly, the win condition of the deck, win. You guys see that? You guys see that? Win. Yeah, you literally win, duh, with this card. Okay, I'm done with my bad puns. Anyways, yeah, the 3 copies of the Shaddoll cards are just amazing for this deck. And last but not least, the utility cards. So, I'm still not playing the Magistus card for the fact I just don't have it. And I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret, like I said in my other deck profile. You can cut the Almirage if you want, but let me tell you something. When you need a monster in the grave for Maximus, when you need a fire for Purgatrio and you haven't seen an Ash or haven't gotten Ash to yourself, you gotta be happy you played this card. Same thing with Secure Gardener. It does have its merits that if it's on the board and you don't take damage, that can buy you a whole nother turn. So I'm just saying the card has a little bit more effectiveness than people give it credit for. So you want to cut this down to the Magistus Link 1 for spellcasters, go right ahead, no problem. Either way, you're playing around Nibiru, so it really doesn't matter. But personally, for me, I still like the All Mirage. Its effect from Grave also comes up as well when you're playing this deck. So just remember that before you completely disregard it. I'm playing Phoenix. I'm gonna tell you why I'm playing Phoenix, and my patrons that I've played online know this. I have stolen more Dragoons than I can count. Not been able to close out a game for some reason because there's not enough monsters to blow up. And then guess what? I have no way of getting rid of the Dragoon or a monster I stole. And guess what happens when you don't get rid of the monster? It goes back to your opponent. I just needed a generic Link 2. That's the honest truth. You don't want to play this, you don't have to. I just wanted a generic Link 2 that just helps me get rid of a problem that I take with Prison or I take with Talents. And this can pop a back row as well. It's very good utility. Like I said, if you don't want to play this, you can play the Nova, and then that gives you access for if your opponent plays Maximus as well. So that's just the reason I'm playing that. And then of course the BLS Link, because it does come up in certain situations. And again, so many decks can out this card. This card is phenomenal, and it can just get rid of so many problematic cards. But that's it, you guys. That is the first of many deck profiles here on the channel with the new format in mind. Let me know what you guys think. You know your boy had to do Alistair and Friends. How could I start any new format without talking about my favorite engine in the game? You guys already know, but I'm telling you guys, try out the deck, try out Prison. You'll really like it. I think the deck overall is phenomenal, and I really like it myself. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you a fan of the deck? Is there anything you want to try out? Anything you suggest I try out? I'll definitely take it into consideration. I'll be returning to Twitch as well very soon. I'll explain to you guys when I finally do what's taken so long. I know it's been a while, but hopefully you guys have been waiting for it. Your boy will be coming back with weekly live streams for you guys. But anyways, let me know your thoughts on Alistair and Friends, the Dogmatika Invoked deck profile for this format. I think it's one of the best decks going forward, and I highly suggest you guys try it out. With all that being said, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Smash that like button if you did. See you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.